All right. Okay. Y'all know what time it is. It's Black Men Matters podcast, and I'm here with two of my brothers. My name is Lamar. We got Leroy. We got Mr. Alonzo. Hey, big shout out to brother Steven. He can't be with us on today, but we send our love and he sends his love. Listen, it's today, y'all. It's another episode, third episode of Black Men Matters podcast. So what that means is we about to talk about what Black Men Matters. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
Feeling good, brother. What can I say? It's another wonderful day.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. It's
Well,
a
Lonzo, how
nice.
you feeling?
good, man. Weekend, a little tired, but I'm managing, managing.
Hey, listen, that's all we can do, right? That's all we can do is just what manage.
That's it.
So we're in the month of May. Leroy, this is your birthday month.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yes.
it is.
This is also my wife's birthday month. Her birthday is the 27th, and so we know that May comes with a lot of things. Like for for example, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Did y'all know that?
I did not.
Didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so I just got one question. My first question that I'm going to pose to you guys, and 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 to the people out there is watching and listening. But before we do that, I just want to first and foremost tell everybody to please go to our YouTube channel right now, Inclusive Entertainment. Like, share, and subscribe, and press that notification button, that little bell, that ding. Press that bell, and you'll get all things Inclusive Entertainment, all things Black Men Matters podcast. And if you're looking for us on Facebook, just go to my Facebook page, Darius Lamar Walden, but look for that blue check because that's my business page, and you'll get everything Lamar. You'll get everything Black Me Matters podcast. All right. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just want to ask one question to the people, to y'all, my brothers. How is your mental?
I think it's something that the mental's always going up. It's like the ocean. Some days
Yeah.
it's good. Some days it's bad. Some days, I feel like I'm on top of the world. Some days I feel like the world's on my shoulders. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's. But today, mental is real high. I'm here with some brothers. We gonna talk. Hey, I ain't got no problem.
Lonzo?
Not the same. It's up and down. Some days just want to walk outside and scream. And then there's days where I'm just, you know, happy go lucky. No, not thinking about nothing. Things of that nature. But you know, all in all, it's pretty good.
Listen, talk about walking outside and screaming. I had a moment yesterday when I was at work that I just wanted to scream, right?
Mm.
You know, and as a black man in America, as a black man in the country, the United States of America, as a black man in Florida, right?
Right.
Like just man, it's rough, man. Just trying to, as the song say, good times, keeping your head above water. Making the way when you can, and it's one of those things where, as men, we're looked at to be strong, to be the strongest, of our counterparts, which are women. We're looked at to be strong. We don't really um, want to put pressure on our ladies to be strong, and because that's our job. Our job is to, from a man's perspective, not to say that women are not strong, because there's some strong black women or some strong women in general out there. But I'm talking about as far as like just day to day life struggles, and how to handle situations. And we're supposed to be the one that are more logical, what I'm saying, than emotional. And that's strength within itself, when you can think about things that are chaotic and hectic with a logical brain rather than an emotional feeling. And so that's strength, right? And so the struggle for that is for me is a constant up and down, you know, like, so it's that for me, and just trying to get used to this whole newness of my life. you know, like, man, you somebody husband, man,
Yeah.
man. Real soon you're gonna be somebody father one day, man. Like, man, dog, you ain't that teenager, you ain't that man in his 20s no more. Just what I'm saying, just doing whatever you want to do. You got
And
responsibility.
yeah, you realize now too, it's no longer you now. It's us. Every decision,
Mhm.
the decisions you make affect both of y'all now. And that same, it both ways. The decisions he makes affects both of y'all too. So yeah, trust me, dog. It's new. I'm still not perfect. I still have my moments. Because when I first, get in a relationship the first time, it was like I was me, and I'm like shit. I'm like, wait a minute, I got somebody else now. Especially when you're married, it's ooh man, you got to make sure you know whatever you're doing is for y'all. You can't be just you and you alone.
Correct. It's true. It's
So
so
this
true. I
is
think that's the biggest. If I could jump in there, I think that's the
yeah,
biggest. There's men's mental health as a single man is one level. I think men's mental health as a married man is a whole nother level.
whew,
Because honest to God, it's like positions, right? You can come in and work somewhere. Let's say you're just a sales associate. You know, you still got work to do. No one's taking away the fact that there's work, right? Or there's tough things you have to deal with, like angry customers. But let's say now you become like a district manager somewhere. There's a different load, and I think that's the comparison to like there's single men mental health, which is like maybe like finding yourself, figuring out what you want to do in the world, that kind of jazz. And then you have married men's mental health, where your mental health is, in a sense, it's of course it's owned by you, meaning that you still have control of it. But the things that can affect it could be your spouse, could be your kids, could be trying to, as Lonzo mentioned earlier, trying to make sure that you manage. It's a we now, but you're the head. You're the you're the guy holding. You're the person who's supposed to be holding it all together. And I think sometimes that in itself can cause a lot of harm. I know there was a time in my life 2 years ago, I would say, I I was just going through it. I know mentally. There were moments in my life. I love my wife. I love my kids. But there was this time in my life I remember that that term, go get some milk. Go,
yeah.
never come back, right? There was some moments.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It came across my head. I know I wouldn't do it, but the fact that it even came across just lets you know where my mental health was at that moment, right? It just lets you know where I was willing to just, in a sense, just give it all up, disappear, start over, right? And I think it's just mental health. Men's mental health is very important. I know mental health is the thing now in the world. The last 5 years, it has been a focus, but I don't know if enough of the focus has been placed on men's mental health. And I'm not trying to it's not a tit for tat. It's not like
Correct.
there's no argument of the sexes or battle of the sexes here. It's
Right.
just more
Right.
reality to just say, yo, we have it too. Because in this world, granted, the world has become quite progressive, which is fine, but there's still some traditional holding individuals and people. And if a traditional man, in essence, is the one who holds it down, and if you live in that particular lifestyle, that's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this real quick, because I've been asked this question, so I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. And this is something that people want to know, and we got to answer the question.
What happened? That went over my head. What happened?
The question is Leroy Is Leroy Wi-Fi is working? Is your Wi-Fi working?
It's working, dog. I know once you hit that record button, it starts acting a fool.
Listen, that's the thing. Before we recorded, oh man, things was going smooth. As soon as I hit that record button,
Even the audio?
No, the audio is perfect, but that's the visual. The visual is like you will laugh, we can hear you laugh, and then 2 seconds later it'll like, oh no, wait, he ain't laughing no more. Hold on, that went away. Yeah, no, but we gonna start doing live stuff, and I think when we go live, it will be a difference. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the kinks of why is it just Leroy.
Yeah.
That as soon as we press record, maybe you got to turn your Wi-Fi off. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's got to be off.
You know what I'll try to do is I'll run a direct line to the computer. Like maybe that might help.
Okay.
I'm on the Wi-Fi. Anyway, this
is just an indication that we need sponsorship, Leroy. We need money.
Agreed. I need some help, y'all.
We need some help. As Steven would say, we need some help. Oh God. Just wanted to bring some levity into the conversation real quick before we get real deep, because we are talking about mental health. We are talking about men's mental health, Black men's mental health on today, because what we see in the news, man, what we see on social media lately with this whole Kendrick and Drake thing, with this whole Diddy thing, of the new release of the footage that we got yesterday with what's come out from 2016, almost 10 years ago.
Right.
It's crazy, right? And you just kind of think about what is going on with the brothers, like what's going on with us up here and here, right? Because it affects us. And when you see Black men going through things like that, it affects everybody else. It affects Black women. It affects the Black children, because they look at us to be what, like Alonzo said, like Leroy said, we're the head. And that's not a macho thing. That's what it is. That's what the Bible says. That's what we're supposed to be. Not just providers, but protectors. We're supposed to be the ones that if she's flustered or the kids are in disarray, and we get it in line. There's a lot of situations, even in the schools, where a female teacher, a woman teacher, can be running the classroom, and she can be running the classroom, and it can be crazy, and then all of a sudden a male step into the room and the class is silent. Why? Because there's a reverence for the voice of a man, and all he has to do is say, hey. There's a reverence for the voice that's the presence that we have. The strongness is within our voice. That's why when we yell or we raise our voice as a child or a woman, it's very detrimental, because that's where the power is. It's not in our fists, it's in our tone. It's in our voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We shift atmospheres when we speak, when we enter a room. That's why I like to say, hey, it's Black men in the room.
Correct.
That should shift something. It's Black men in the room. And so I wanna take that for y'all. What is it like? What's the importance for y'all? The effect of the strong Black male presence. That's what we're about to talk about. The effect of the strong Black male presence. Anybody?
What was? Say that one more time. The question.
The effect of the strong Black male presence. What do you think that is?
I think the effect of the strong Black man's presence is, I think it's a real thing. I think it's I think it's a feeling and a setting and a almost like an atmospheric type of effect. You ever had like an uncle or a dad or some male figure in your family or in your life, when he walked into the room, you instantly felt something. Like, let's think about our old president, President Obama. You know, I bet even before he was a president, when he would walk into a room or an event, there was an energy or a presence that followed him. I know for myself, I've seen that with people. I've seen that with black men. I've seen that with any man. But when a real man walks into a room, it's not angry, it's not aggressive, it's not come after for someone's throat, but you feel the presence. You already know that order must be had. And I think that when a man's presence is there, it affects things in so many ways. People act right, behave right. There's almost a level of accountability without even having to say something, because you know what the person's about. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah. And I second that. I don't know if I mentioned before, like how you said, when you walk into a room, especially amongst other races, you know, there are a certain aura, because others, I mean, it's in other men too, but it gets downplayed with us. Others, you know, they walk in, they do that, but I guess sometimes with us, it's like when you walk in the room a certain way, it's the way we walk and how we carry ourselves. When you come in there and act straight, and you got that swagger about you, you know. They hold on a second. I'm sorry, I gotta position my camera. They everybody starts looking, you know, and it's not an ego thing, you know. Even when the ladies, when the ladies look, and they just have that, like, they just see you and you feel the eyes just, you know, just following you.
Agreed.
You know, and it's just how you carry yourself. You know, it's not to be on some ego trip or something like that, man. We should always be able to.
But
yes,
correct. That we should always carry out, and it should not be intimidation to another race of men. It should not be, you know, it just shouldn't be that. It should be where this is just who we are, just like this is who y'all are. You know, we are kings. We are a royal priesthood. We are strong. And that's not to say that somebody else isn't, but we're talking about us.
Correct.
We're talking about what we carry. We're talking about who we are and where we come from. And we are kings. Our women, our black women are queens. Our children are prince and princesses. And no one can take that away from us. I was telling my wife the other day, no one on this earth, no human being is greater than me. No human being is greater than you, Alonzo. No human being is greater than you, Leroy. And it can be cocky, it can be whatever, but no human being, from my perspective, I'm not going to lower myself to another person's or dim my light so another person can shine greater. No, we shine at the same time. We're great within our own perspective. We're great in our own way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
No human being is greater than each other.
Yeah, and that's the mental. I guess that's a mental strain amongst all black men. Like we have to, you have to carry yourself a certain way, because we already know in the back of our minds, nobody likes it when we come in and we are being manly. You know, our manliness bothers other people at times, and it is frustrating because you feel like you have to force yourself to lower your own standards, and you don't want to do that. You want to come in and be you, firm handshake, you know, talking when you have bass in your voice, you know, things of that nature, and it just bothers people, you know, and it's just it's a lot of pressure, you know, because like I said, being black, period, is already made as a pressure, you know.
Correct.
You know, and not to get sidetracked. I was looking at some stuff on the laptop about suicides. They're saying it's like one of the. I think it's suicide is the second leading cause of death for African Americans between 15 and 24.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's craziness, man. Like, what's going on out here? These are things we need to bring to light because nobody's talking about this. When it's mental issues,
Yes.
it's everybody else. When it's us, it's all you guys
Yes.
are fine.
Yes.
Those generational curses about not going to the doctor, not going to see a shrink because everybody they do. Why you got to go see a shrink for? You crazy? That's not what it's for.
Correct.
Going to the doctor, all these things were put on us through our families and just through peers, through our friends and everything like that, where we don't, again, as men, we don't get to share how we feel. We don't get to talk about that because there's no, again, there's no safe space. You know, we don't get to do all that because even for me, when I was in school, I was going to counseling. I was one of them same kids, wouldn't say nothing, wouldn't talk about it, wouldn't do anything. You know, I was not at the point of suicide, but dealing with being bullied in school and just being outright picked on, and I think for me dealing with the fact, my dad at the time was going through what he was going through and seeing him in and out of jail and stuff like that at a very young age, didn't realize how much of a toll it took on me, man. I mean, that was a lot to go visit my father in jail, sitting behind that bulletproof glass, or some areas where you sit out and you can actually shake hands with the man, and stuff like that, getting letters from him and things. And it got to the point where I got frustrated where I said, man, the heck with this. I was probably teens, early 20s, whatever.
Yeah.
After a while, it was like, dude, like, this is a lot. And then there was nobody to really talk to. I ain't really had too many male figures in my life like that, man. I mean, grandfather died, my dad in and out of jail. Outside of that, I ain't really had no male figures in my life. So I'm just winging it,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of that shows because you grow up in a single parent home, live with your grandparents, or live with your grandma your whole entire life, and there's no guy there. So it's like I'm figuring out how to be a man all on my own. I had a job and shave, whatever, do all that stuff, fix, watch, whatever that would be deemed manly, I guess. But sometimes I still feel like that kid from back in the day, as I get older, it's like, man, it's a lot.
Hey, what's
man.
up, everybody? It's Lamar Walden of Inclusive Entertainment, and I'm just here to share with you about my new podcast called Black Men Matters Podcast. Yes, it's me along with a few of my brothers, Alonzo, Leroy, and Steven. Yes, these are my brothers. I went to them and I said, hey, guys, I need a platform with all brothers, all black men, all black married men, and we can talk about Black Men Matters and to remind the people that black men still indeed do matter, right? And if you want to look us up on, my platforms, I got my YouTube channel, Inclusive Entertainment. So please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell and get all things inclusive. Okay. If you want to go on my Facebook page, look for my full name, Darius Lamar Walden. But make sure you look for that blue check, all right? Because that's how you're going to get updated with everything inclusive. Okay. Again, we are so excited to be bringing you this podcast, Black Men Matters, where we talk about Black Men Matters and remind you that Black Men Matters. All right. Only on Inclusive Entertainment YouTube channel. This has been Lamar. Until we meet again, be inclusive. Man, listen, man. Yeah. So listen. And there we go. Okay, so we back, y'all. We back.
Yes, we are.
I hope y'all enjoyed that break. And we got Leroy together. We got Leroy together. Come on now.
Exactly.
And that's what you do. That's what you want to do when you're dealing with something like this. You try to work out the kinks and for things to have great quality. We want to give y'all great quality. We don't want no robotic stuff and lagging things. We want to give y'all great quality. So now we know what to do. So by the fourth episode, we're gonna be on and popping.
We're gonna be in order.
On and popping. So we were talking about the effects of the black male presence, and I want to know from both of you. Both of you have children. Um, what do you think the effect of your presence as a black man or as a father? How do you think it affects the household and your wife and your child? Like, can you imagine the difference if you wasn't present, if you wasn't there full time? Go ahead.
No, I'll just get my thoughts together. But yeah, it'd be very, very different. I mean, you actually we've seen it in real life, play out in real life when the two-parent home isn't, when one or the other isn't there. When the mom is the single parent mom or the single father, you see a vast difference. Like prime example. I'm not trying to make it about me, but I've lived it to say I know what it's like to be in a home with no father and no both my biological parents. So yeah, it's things are lacking when you don't have that father figure in there for the boy or girl. The boy tends to pick up on other things. Then the girl, she tends to pick up on other things because you always hear that a girl looks for what they see in their father. That's what they want in their man, And it's been expressed to me, that you don't want your daughter going out there with some knucklehead. You want her when you're in the house and you're conducting yourself in a way that she looks up to you with such admiration, that you're being that man that you're supposed to be, treating your wife with the utmost love and care. When she sees these things, she's gonna want that.
Agreed.
She's gonna be like, my dad used to do this and do that. She ain't gonna get with some dude that's a bum who ain't got his stuff together, and she's gonna be like, nah, bro, you don't show me no affection. You don't do this, you don't do that. But when you're not there, or if you are there and that you're that type of father that is nasty and whatever, she sees that, then she's gonna be thinking, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. And then when one won't come along and is doing what they're supposed to be doing, she's gonna be like, this don't feel right. Why are you being nice to me? Why are you doing this? And then with the boys, they don't see that either. They see that, they see that love and care, same thing. They're gonna grow up to be that respectful young man that you always want, that you always dream. But if you're doing all this nonsense, or if the father isn't there, or if the mother isn't there, boys gonna show out. They're gonna show out. They're gonna act up. They're not gonna get. There's no repercussions for what's going on. They're just going out there, no right or wrong. And doing whatever, and they're being all the things that you don't want. They become a statistic. And one thing, the double standard that we always do. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
We will have our daughters under lock and key. But when it comes to the boys, you always hear that saying, "Oh, the boys will be boys."
Yeah.
And me personally, I don't like that double standard. If I keep my daughter under lock and key, if I had a son, it's going to be kind of the same thing. It's going to be some restraint as well. Because if I had a son, I wouldn't want him out there just sowing his oats, as they say. I don't conduct yourself as a gentleman. The girls conduct themselves as a lady. Because with the daughters, we'll board them up in the house. If it were up to us, they stay in the house until their old age. But with the boys, hey son, you got it. That's my boy. He out there doing his thing.
Yeah.
And there's always that. And then when things go left, oh boy, he got a kid.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Hold on.
We lost you, Lanco.
Check your mic.
Yeah.
Check your mic. Did it die? There we go.
Got you. Hey.
Okay.
Hey, is it good?
It's good.
It's good.
Good. All right. So I had a little static.
No problem.
This one don't last long, so I'm getting new ones.
Okay.
Eventually.
Listen. We keep telling people we need money. We need sponsorships. We need money.
Hey, it's a startup, man. It's a startup,
This
baby.
is just the third episode. We need money. Okay, but we good.
Money.
But yeah, no, to piggyback off of that, I agree with you. I think that, one thing that you just mentioned, in all of what you said, there's a need for balance. There's balance in everything. In any and everything in this world, there's balance. And I think having a father is important when raising kids, because that's just part of the balance. It doesn't matter what religion you follow. Even without religion, just science alone backs it up. But for instance, Confucianism, yin and yang, everything has a balance, right?
Yeah.
And that's why a man is necessary in the life. Even if the offspring are females only or males only. Lonzo made a very good point. If it's a female, let's say you only have girls as daughters. Well, you have to be the example of the minimum, I said, type of man your daughter should be going after when she gets older.
Yeah.
The attributes and traits and things that you show in that time while they're growing up, you want that to be the minimum. If there's a man better than you who has better attributes and skills and whatnot, and when dealing with a family or dealing with your daughter, that's a plus. Shit, of course, be better than me. Find the guy better than me, right? So, and then for the sons, if you only have sons, it's like Lonzo said, look, it's easier for us to, let's be very frank and open. Men can get around, it's not that we agree with it, but men can go and plant seed all over the world, and they aren't necessarily, child support will get them, but they're not necessarily have to be around, if you follow where I'm coming from. The daughters, generally, they going to have to be there, because that's normally the kids stay with the mom. It's just what happens, right? But if we as men teach our boys correctly, a real man's not going to just sow his oats with everybody. A real man's going to stand up, first select the right woman to sow oats with, then make the woman an honorable woman. If you're Christian or not, just being committed to the woman and being seriously committed to the woman, and then sowing the oats and raising your kids. That's what a young man or a man should do. So it's a balance. It's needed, because if you're not the person there giving them the balance, or there's no one else who's a good father figure to give the balance, they're going to learn it from their friends, the internet, TV, all kind of foolishness, and they think that what they're doing is what everybody else does. Guys always out here. Go ahead.
And I don't want my son or daughter learning anything from Diddy.
Yeah, no, Lord have mercy. Not that one.
Okay.
That's Diddy the Pity. That's what he is. Foolishness.
Oh Jesus. and I don't have biological children yet, but I do have two godsons. I have a goddaughter. I have two goddaughters. And I have nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And the thing that I have instilled in all of them is my presence. When I show up, being involved in what they like, and instilling in them or cultivating what's already inside of them. A lot of times mothers don't have the time or the patience to deal with a child like a father can. A father is patient to sit with them and see that they have an interest in something and say, let's do it. Let's go play basketball with the little boys. I want to see you dancing with the little girls, or sing for daddy. Mothers don't really have the luxury to sit and do that, because they got to clean the house, or they got to cook, or they got to do this, they got to work, or they got to do that. Fathers, when I come home because mommy may need to take a nap, now is my time to take over. All right, baby, I'm your audience. What's up? What you want to show, Dad? You got an art project? One thing I used to do with my nieces, when I was living with my mom, my nieces would come over. That's when they was little. They grown now, child. Oh Lord. When they was little, in elementary school, they would always bring home drawings and art projects and or their certificates, and they wanted me to put it on my wall, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so my room became like their art gallery or their trophy case, and I would love to put that on my wall and to see that they came to their uncle, you know,
Yep.
and say, look, uncle, look, and or they wanted to perform. I have so many videos of them singing or doing a rap or doing something educational with music, and they would do it, or us singing together. They always love to do that. And even with my goddaughter, she turned 7 yesterday, and she's starting to sing, and her memory is impeccable. And
Yeah.
and I just I I just feel like even my godsons, I used to do that with them all the time, and they're about the same age as my nieces are right now. So they done got grown and don't know me no more. But when they were little, when they were little, oh, we used to sing together all the time, and they used to show me it. So I figured I didn't have a father that was interested or came to my shows or came to my recitals, my talent shows, or that I can give a good project to, could say, hey, look what I did.
Yeah.
But I had my mother, but she didn't always have the luxury of being present
Mhm.
enough for me, right? And that's why that balance is necessary, because when one parent is depleting, when one parent is tired, when one parent is exhausted, when one parent needs a break, then the other parent has to step in.
Agreed. And you made a very
You
valid
know?
point. You mentioned your mom, she wasn't as present, but she couldn't because she had to play, especially in America. She had to work, I bet, a lot because she had to pay the bills to keep everything afloat. It's easier,
Correct.
even though the struggle could be real with two people working. But if there was a man there to help her with the gaining of the finances or grabbing the resources, both of them would have more time to
Yes.
entertain and pay attention in a sense to their offspring. You're absolutely right.
Yes. Yes. So when my Uncle Lester came into my life, he was that, oh, let me go to him now. I can go to
Yeah,
him because he was interested in the plays and all that. What you got next, nephew?
yeah,
I want my tickets. That was our running joke. I need my tickets. I need my
yeah.
tickets, nephew. And he would be all the way in Port St. Lucie.
Wow.
Not even here anymore. But he always messages me on Facebook. I need my tickets. And that meant something to me
Yeah,
because I know that my mom came to concerts and this and that, and that meant a lot to me. That she would pay full price. She wouldn't ask for a discount. She would pay full price to every show, buy every shirt. She wore my shirts to this day. You
wow.
know, but to know that I had a male influence at a certain part of my life that also invested gave me that balance. It helped me understand. Oh, this is what a father does.
Yeah,
You know, this is
yeah,
this is this is what it is to have the female presence and the
yeah,
male presence, and you can tell the difference.
yeah.
And it's not like one has to overcompensate for the other.
Correct.
It's hard. We can't be mothers.
Nope.
We can probably cook,
Yep.
but we can't cook better than our wives. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
My macaroni and cheese is to die for. But I bet if my wife made macaroni and cheese, I'll be like, baby, come here, let's make a baby. Come here, let's do it right now. Because
Look,
there's a
Courtney mac and
certain
cheese banging.
thing.
hmm
Say it again.
Courtney mac and cheese banging.
hmm
Listen, because there's a certain, we know the song Grandma's Hands. There's a certain thing in a black woman's DNA that
hmm
just make things better. We may add structure, but they make things better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the effect of knowing that they can't do what they do if we're not there. They can't flourish within their whole womanness if we're not present. They have to
Expert.
overcompensate for what we're not doing. So they
Correct.
can't be mother, they can't be wife, they can't be sister, they can't be daughter, because they can't be a working Black woman or an entrepreneur Black woman or just a Black woman taking care of the house, because we're not there.
I hear what you're saying. They can't be their best self because they got to milk into what we're
There we
supposed to
go.
be doing. Yeah,
There we
we're
go.
supposed
Thank
to be,
you.
and that's why there's the balance, especially when you have kids. If you're a single person, okay, you know, you know, you do your thing. You don't have, it's only you to deal with anyway. So, you know, you could be your own woman, you could be your own man, you know, but once you step into the realm of bringing a life into the world, I mean, come on, there's a reason why it takes both of us to bring it in the first place.
Yes, but
So if
and we have the easiest part, Leroy.
legit. We just did 2 minutes. We good.
Right? Man, they got it. We got this good 2 minutes of pleasure, and they got to go through 9 months of
Listen,
pain, and
yeah,
9 months of birthing, and
and then
9
just
months
the
of
delivery, just the delivery hours. You know,
yes.
labor in itself. You know, so that's why you know. But again, it takes two to create them. It should take two to raise them. That's how I look at it. If women
Oh,
could do it on their own, then they would do it on their own. If men could do it on their own, like not involve with anyone, then you can expect or understand that you could only one parent is needed. But if it took two for us to even create it, it most likely mean it take two for us to raise it.
Yeah.
And that's just how I see it.
We don't, you know, and then the whole takes a village to raise a child. And like I said, all the things we, you know, seen as a kid growing up, a lot of it is gone, almost virtually gone now because of how society's set up.
Correct.
To the point that, you know, the men are being dumped on, and, you know, the women are being dumped on. It's like there's so much back and forth. And, you know, society's made it harder to just have a family.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're working 2 jobs. I mean, my wife's working 2 jobs. I'm working mine. And then right now, as soon as I come home, she gets off one job and she's going to the next one.
My God.
And I don't see her until midnight, you know?
Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it was like that before where she would work the night shift, I worked the day shift because my job has been the day shift always. And then we reversed the roles where I was working 2 jobs, basically 3. I was working with the city. I come home, I wouldn't even come home. I'm going straight to the next job, work there. And then there were times where I would do overtime that same night. I come home for a couple hours and go right back out and work 11 to 7 with the city, working overtime. You know, so I was working all day.
Yeah.
And we barely see each other. And it's almost going around to that again because I'm getting ready to work a second job so she can, you know, let go of her second job and just concentrate on the one she has now because she works from home in a call center.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be kind of the same thing, but we don't really see each other much. Because I told her, man, I'll stay up. I don't care. I got to get up early in the morning. I get it, but I say I'll stay up for a little bit with you, watch an episode, maybe have a little nightcap, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to sleep, and I know I'm gonna pay for it. But it's like, you know what? The heck with it, because I'm coming home. I'm bringing you to the house. You know, got to get our daughter situated, get her to go to sleep. You know, because she misses mommy too.
Yeah.
I'm missing my wife, and it's like, yeah, she understood that. And when she worked at John Knox, I said, no, man, I know I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I get it, but at least I can sit up with you for like maybe a couple minutes, an hour at best. Push it to that, and I go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, and she always like, I love that about you because you know this what we're doing. Yeah, I get it. You know, I don't want to just bring you home. All right, good night, and go to sleep. I ain't even, you know nothing. It just that didn't just sit right with me. That's even when certain things I don't like to do stuff without her. We going somewhere, I want you with me. I don't want to let you sit home by yourself and I'm out here having fun.
Yeah.
You know, doing things like that, man. That was just for me. It just bothered me, you know, because one day I was going to go on a trip to Avon Park to see my family, and she was like, "I'm gonna stay home," you know, because how the thing was setting up. She's like, "I'm gonna stay home. You want scenario go?" I'm like, "No, I'm not about to drive 2 hours away and let you stay home,
Yeah.
I'd rather not even go because they want to see you, and it's just her with me,
Yeah.
and it's just awkward, you know. Unless it's with the guys, okay, it's with the guys. But if it's something where I can involve her,
Yeah.
I'd rather you be right there with me. Because how would I look amongst my peers? Where your wife at? Oh man, she at home. Oh, okay. Now they're going back. Man, Zoe just left his wife home while he going out. Left home
Yeah.
by herself. You know, that don't.
Sit
And
right.
even if that's not what the reality is, that's what we think, right?
Right. Especially when it's fun. When it's for fun,
Yeah.
of course, why not? And then knowing your lifestyle, you guys work so much, this is an opportunity. So you want to take it. Agreed.
Yeah.
I like
We
that.
haven't
Listen.
had a date night in a while. You know,
Listen,
so
if I can be transparent,
Yeah.
my wife taught me something just recently about myself that I had to really look at myself in the mirror, look at the man in the mirror and apologize for, growing up as, and I hope I can be transparent. She over here, she watching me trying to make sure I ain't gonna, tell the business,
Oh boy.
But but no, but she say, hey, Amber. But to be transparent, when we before we got married, me being, the only boy and the only boy, the youngest child, I I really wasn't privy to seeing a lot of relationships that were successful, that were, you know, non-toxic to say the least. I really didn't see a lot of that unless I was watching the Cosby Show or a sitcom couple. It really wasn't a lot of that shown to me or those examples. I know what it was to allow my wife to have her own identity. You know, to allow her to have her own life outside of me. And because you see people, you see the Tamala Mans and the David Mans, they're always together, and they're always just doing everything together, and you want that. I want to have a franchise with my wife, and we build a family business because all these. And it's like, no, that. What if she don't want that? What if she want to do what she want to do, and you do what you would do, and you got your friends, and she got her friends,
Yeah.
and so she told me one day that she resented me
Mm.
because I can hang out with my friends and I can do my friends, but at a certain point, even up until we got married, I would give her a hard time for wanting to go out or do anything with her friends, and for the life of me, I could not give an example or a reason or an excuse to why. It was just, and all I could say was it was the insecure
Mm.
part of me,
Okay.
that was not okay with. My excuse was, man, we just got married, or I don't come over here all the time when we were dating. I don't come over here all the time. I just get to get the weekend with you, and they want to come and see you, and they want to take your time for me, and they want to, and it's like, Negro, I ain't going nowhere. You gonna get to
Yeah.
see me next week. You gonna get. I can't. I ain't never got to see my friends. You get to see them, and I could not get it until she told me recently that she resented me for it. And in my mind, bro, it brought me to tears to know that I prevented my wife. Even if I felt like I didn't do it physically, I didn't tell what I did, you know, in my mind, the influence of me stopped her from because in her mind she don't want to not do
Upset.
what I say or upset
Mhm.
me or offend me. So she gonna give in.
Yeah, she's gonna choose not to go hang out with a
She gonna
friend to
she
keep you happy.
just to please me, and that's not good. So I had to apologize, and I had to be like, listen, I if you want to go, the
To the
weekend
moon.
with the girls, and you want to go take a girls trip, or you listen, where I am now is I understand that you need your time because I know that absence make the heart grow fonder,
Mm-hmm.
and we're only a year into this, and we don't want to, always together and always together, and we get tired of each other, and then we're not even making it into the second and third and fourth and fifth year because we've
Yeah.
already burnt ourselves out. But it broke me as a man, as a husband, as an understanding of why. You know, it was the insecurity, bro. It was, and I broke. Like I had to be like, you're right. I can't. I ain't got nothing else to say about it. Like I can't even make an excuse. You're right.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever experienced that? Like any type of insecurity within your marriage?
Absolutely. I think that that's a common thing, especially in the beginning. Everybody,
Mm-hmm.
she will have hers, you will have yours. Because even though you get married or even if you get in a relationship, it takes time to learn somebody. In the beginning, it's just, man, she's cute, he's cute. We're like nice conversations. Sometimes the surface level is a little deep, but you still don't know anybody. But before you became like a unit or married, you were you and she was she.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
Mm-hmm.
as you guys come together in a relationship, you're blending some parts of you, but not all parts of you blend immediately. So insecurity, I can't pinpoint one in particular. Um, for myself, I mean, I know one insecurity I had in the beginning relationship because right before I met Cindy, I was with a girl for I think 2 or 3 years, and she cheated on me. And at the time before she cheated on me, I only believed that women cheat. I was young. I only believed women cheat when a man's not doing what he's supposed to do. I thought that was the only reason. I drank the Kool-Aid to believe that
Yeah.
brothers are the only ones who we wired to go out there and just do what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
But I assumed women would not do that unless there was something lacking. But when that happened, and I know there was nothing lacking, I was torn. I'm like, no, it's like a rewiring now. Like this doesn't to add up. 1 + 1 does not equal 2. That's
Right.
what was happening to me. So I meet Cindy, and a part of that was still in me. So now I'm thinking it could happen again. It can happen easily. So I was a lot more, one could say, insecure about male friendships that she had established before me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but one thing that helped me get past it is the males that she had, friends that she had before me or still have. Um, it was kind of them too, because they were respectful enough as a man, at least in front of my face, to respect where we were, respect our relationship. They would introduce, they'll speak to me. Now, granted, one of them could have played it too, but the way they handled it, the way she handled it, that just helped die down. But I didn't have it. That's what made it go away. Now, at this point, it don't even matter because I just know it's 11 years in, like, and that part of me too, when I was younger, it was more of a worry, oh, I get cheated on. Listen, I'll be honest with you guys, brothers. If it happened to me now, of course, I'd make the choices I make, but it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? So that also helps you suppress these things. You'll continue if or even if it doesn't happen. So that's
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
it's normal, Darius. You're gonna go through a couple. Something's gonna pop up on her end. It'll take a while. It's like when you mix. Well, that's not a good example. I was gonna say like mixing salt and water, but there's some elements when you mix it with water, it takes a while to dissolve. It's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna take time. But there'll come a point in time where that you won't even be thinking about nothing. It don't even much matter. Won't even matter. At least that's my belief.
Aldo?
Yeah, I agree. I guess I had some insecurities, I guess too, because first meeting each other, shy, humble, whatever. And when I came here, a lot of my flaws did show. A lot of my insecurity, because I was still kind of like that nerd. I'm still a nerdy dude, but you know, I'm surrounded by the guys who were, you know, two-parent home. You know, they had a father that like they manly men. You know, and here I am, kind of like, you know, kind of just, you know, I felt kind of like an outcast because these guys, in my eyes, were accomplished. You know, they went to high school, they played sports. I'm a dropout. I didn't play sports. I didn't do all these things. You know, in our community, a lot of times, you know, you don't play sports. Are you, what's wrong with you? You don't like football? I
Yeah.
do. I'm not a fanatic. I'm not the most athletically gifted person in the world. I'll enjoy myself and have fun. And I see these cats and they talk about all the, you know, the stuff they did and all the things, you know, some of them hustle, not hustle good, but just had little hustles that they were doing. Here I am, just old regular old dude. Felt like, damn, I ain't gonna feel like I'm gonna measure up to these cats, man. You know, these guys are already in positions of leadership and things of that nature. I'm still trying to find my way. You know, sometimes I'm still like that. Sometimes where it's like, man, like, hey, man, these cats just they get looked at in a certain way, and sometimes for me, I feel like I don't really feel like I'm not at that status, you know, and I don't do things for bragging rights, but like I want to be looked in the same light as these guys are, and not that nerdy dude over here, you know, who don't do all the things that they do. I mean, I join the conversation, have a good talk, but there are parts of me where I feel like I don't measure up to the standards because I haven't done the things that they have done, and then I'm lacking certain things. You know, I already told them like, look, man, you know, no father figure, things of that nature. So a lot of that plays a big major part. You know, because I have my flaws, man. I didn't feel I just didn't feel. I felt like I said, I felt odd in the group because everybody carries themselves a certain way, and when you meet me, you're getting me as you see. I'm always kind of, you know, laughing and carrying on, but there's a level of seriousness with these guys that I don't quite have. You know, I'm always joking and unserious. When I'm serious, I'm serious. But 90% of the time, I'm kind of like cutting the fool and all that stuff like that. And these guys, there's such a humor you got to pay attention to because it's that dry humor. You know, certain things they joke and you can't tell like, is he serious or is he playing with me? You
Yeah.
know, because I used to at first I was like, this nigga is he joking? Like, because there's stone face and it's like, oh, do I
Very
laugh?
much. Very
Well,
true.
you know, like, oh, and after a while, like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, and you know, in Courtney the filling out process, man. You know, there were a lot of times. I ain't gonna lie, I'm be transparent. There were a couple times where I thought it was gonna be over
Mm. It happens.
because she threw out that word that no man wants to hear,
Mm-hmm.
the D word. I ain't talking about that one. And there, like I said, there been a couple times, man, where you know, because certain things that we didn't fix amongst ourselves because she went through some things that she went through in her life, so she's kind of the same borderline as me, not having her parents in her life, you know, being raised by somebody else who wasn't even biological family, and so she lacked certain things, just like I lacked certain things, and there were times we bought pants, dog, and
It
I
was
thought
bad.
a couple times I thought it was over.
Yeah.
I really thought it was it. That this is it. You know, we're about to split, and it would tear me apart. Like, man, like it's gonna leave me like I'm done. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not stepping into the realm of marriage no more. If
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go through that again because especially now, I definitely am not because how everything is now. I don't have time for this stuff no more, man. Like
Yeah.
this woman is one with flaws and all. You know,
Yeah.
we on each other nerves, but we're here. I mean, it's you know, like for you, Cruz, it's a filling out process too, man. Y'all in the early stages. I think it's the first 5 years or the first 7 years.
Toughest.
If you make it through that, y'all good.
Yeah, you good.
you're gonna butt heads, dog. You're gonna get on each other's nerves. Sometimes you gotta have to go do
Step
something.
away.
You know? Yeah, you gonna get to the point where you see in the living room watching TV, you in the room, well, cool, or in the room. You know, you ain't worried about nothing.
Yep.
You know, that's gonna happen. But y'all gotta feel each other out and work on the communication too. You know, we still have that problem here and there.
Yeah.
Work on the communication, man. You know, don't let nobody on the outside influence you, especially single people.
Especially.
Single people, I'm telling that now. I don't care who get offended. Do not take advice from single people, because they will destroy your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Do not. And tell her the same thing. If they ain't married, they ain't got no. If they ain't been married long enough, even married people, sometimes be careful.
I'm finna say, married bitter people.
Yeah, you know, especially be careful, because they're gonna put something. If she taking advice, they're gonna put something in her ear. This person gonna put something in your ear, and now you sitting up here fighting over some stupid stuff, or they got you thinking she tripping, and she got thinking that you tripping, and you can't figure out what's going on. They sitting back in their house and laughing, you know, because they're gonna be people that gonna hate what you have.
Agreed.
Ooh.
You know, they're gonna be people that hate what you have, dog. You out here praying for sunshine, they praying for rain on your life. There are people literally praying for your downfall, whether you know it or not. You don't realize that there are people praying for you too not to make it. Just like us, just like all of us. There are people out there who see y'all together, happy black couple, and they sitting back mad. Oh, I can't stand now. They praying to God that everything fall apart. So
that's why I'm careful. That's why I'm careful about what I also post on Facebook when it comes down to, even if it's nothing but good stuff. People don't like that. You know, people don't like to see, oh, you happy, you in the, oh, okay, well let's you know, witchcraft. You know, they start praying to whoever their God is, you know, and but this is why this type of platform is necessary, and I needed it, you know, because you don't get this anywhere else. This is the black men effect. You know what I'm saying? You don't get this nowhere else. And just a disclaimer for those out there, I know y'all hear Leroy calling me Darius. You know, that's my first name.
Oh yeah.
And Alonzo, he calling me Pooh. That's my nickname. He family. He family, so he called me. That's my nickname. That don't mean y'all can use it though. Okay, that don't mean
exactly.
Let me look in the camera. That don't mean y'all can use it. Okay. I don't stop them from using the names because they know me like that. They know me that well to you know, whatever. But everybody else is Lamar. Okay.
I knew Darius before he was Lamar. That's what it is. I knew Darius before he became Lamar.
I mean, I've been calling them Pooh for as long as I can. Yeah. As long as I know them.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's my middle name. Lamar is my middle name. So it's one of those things where, like, well, where's Lamar come from? That's my middle name, you know. So I chose that. I chose that for business because a lot of people can't say Darius. They say Darius or Darius or Doris. And so it's like, let's just go with Lamar, you know. And but these are my brothers, you know. These are my brothers, and that's how you know that they know me for real. So, but for y'all, huh?
Don't do it.
Mr. Walden, you.
Right, this is Mr. Walden, Mr. Tibbs. To you.
Call me Mr. Tibbs.
and so this is a good way to end it, man. This has been the Black Men Matter podcast, and we just want to let y'all know for real that black men do still in fact matter, and so we don't want y'all to get no offense to anything that we say. This is not a knock to any other race. This is what it is. We are who we are. This is, you know, we can't fake this. This is our DNA. We can bleach. We can do whatever. We still gonna. Michael Jackson was still black.
Agreed.
Hello.
Agreed.
Okay. So regardless of how he looked on the outside, he was excuse my French, but he was a nigga on the inside. Okay.
Stupid.
And also, y'all, please don't let it be a knock on. If we're not, when we say black men matter,
Yeah.
this is not taking shot at no gender, nobody. So nobody
Correct.
please come in and talk about well, women matter. Yes, but we
Of course.
do
Of course.
matter too, and it's not to downplay anyone.
Yep.
There are those who hear this and it's like, well, what about the other men?
Yeah,
They matter. They matter too. But on this podcast, we talking about black men. That's it.
That's it.
Because for too long, black men have been down here. And there's never anytime we want to. We're trying to present ourselves as, hey, we are human too. And here comes the BS. And if women matter, you know.
And if we're gonna talk about it, no, we ain't talking about men like Diddy. No, we ain't talking about men like you know the little biatches out there that are abusing women and abusing their power and stuff like that. No, we're not talking about them. They're not men.
No, they're not. So we do not include people who do horrible things to men, women, or children. We do not include them. We're talking about
correct.
The Barack Obamas, the James Evans, or anybody in your life that you looked up to who was an upstanding man in your life. So we do not include anybody who's doing these horrible, despicable things.
Correct.
You do things like that, you don't count. I don't care if you are a black man, you don't count.
You're not a man.
No,
you're not a man.
You're just black.
All skin folk and kin folk. What did you say?
I said if they're doing those bad things, you're not a man. You're just black. If you're black, white, whatever, you're just the color. You're not a man. Okay. If you do anything bad, you're just the color. That's it.
Oh, man.
That's it.
All black people ain't for you.
Of course.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nope. I love doing this podcast with my brothers. This has been the Black Men Matters podcast with Lamar, Alonzo, Leroy, and my boy Steven in his absence. This is our third episode, y'all. Next week we might go live. Next time we might go live. Give y'all a live experience. We got something real special for y'all for next month for Father's Day. Be on the lookout for that. If you got topics for us to talk about, please, once again, please go to our social media page, go to our YouTube page. YouTube is Inclusive Entertainment. I'm going to do a separate one for Black Men Matters podcast, but like, share, and subscribe for now to Inclusive Entertainment and get all things inclusive, all things Black Men Matters podcast. Go on my Facebook page. There's Lamar Walden. I may even start a group. I may even start a Black Men Matters group because who knows what we can gather into that group and talk about and accomplish. But look for that blue check because that's when you know that it's my business page, not my personal. Look for that blue check. All right, y'all. Listen, this has been Black Men Who Matter, and we talking about Black Men Matters. Until next time, peace.
Be easy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Lamar Walden of Inclusive Entertainment, and I'm just here to share with you about my new podcast called Black Men Matters Podcast. Yes, it's me along with a few of my brothers, Alonzo, Leroy, and Steven. Yes, these are my brothers. I went to them and I said, hey, guys, I need a platform with all brothers, all black men, all black married men, and we can talk about Black Men Matters and to remind the people that black men still indeed do matter, right? And if you want to look us up on, my platforms, I got my YouTube channel, Inclusive Entertainment. So please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell and get all things inclusive. Okay? If you want to go on my Facebook page, look for my full name, Darius Lamar Walden. But make sure you look for that blue check, all right? Because that's how you're going to get updated with everything inclusive. Okay. Again, we are so excited to be bringing you this podcast, Black Men Matters, where we talk about Black Men Matters and remind you that Black Men Matters. All right. Only on Inclusive Entertainment YouTube channel. This has been Lamar. Until we meet again, be inclusive. Everybody, it's Lamar Walden of Inclusive Entertainment, and I'm just here to share with you about my new podcast called Black Men Matters Podcast. Yes, it's me along with a few of my brothers, Alonzo, Leroy, and Steven. Yes, these are my brothers. I went to them and I said, hey guys, I need a platform with all brothers, all black men, all black married men, and we can talk about Black Men Matters and to remind the people that black men still indeed do matter, right? And if you want to look us up on, my platforms, I got my YouTube channel, Inclusive Entertainment. So please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell and get all things inclusive. Okay? If you want to go on my Facebook page, look for my full name, Darius Lamar Walden. But make sure you look for that blue check, all right? Because that's how you're going to get updated with everything inclusive. Okay, again, we are so excited to be bringing you this podcast, Black Men Matters, where we talk about Black Men Matters and remind you that Black Men Matters. All right, only on Inclusive Entertainment YouTube channel. This has been Lamar. Until we meet again, be inclusive.